basically this guide was made for Annie, and what she wanted to know was how can we make the big plays on Xayah? How do we know when we can go in instead of just sitting in the back? You know, when can we really go in, essentially? Okay, so by the time you are done watching this video, you should be able to explain how we do this play, and with enough practice in the practice tool and or in your games, you should be able to replicate it. Okay, we're gonna play the clip, and we're gonna show you, you know, W does damage, right, into fast QE combo, right, anything along those lines. And then even ulti to use to dodge something / dive, right? And then more roots, and then W to finish people off, right? So ulti for dive, and then we're going in. This is essentially what you wanted, okay? How do we get in there and make the plays? When do you know you can do that? You should be able to explain this clip by the time the video is over, okay? So, but before we jump into things, I want to thank GameLeap for providing all the editing again for this video. They are definitely a good resource if you're trying to learn the game, not just the ADC role, but rather all roles in League, you know, top, jungle, mid, support. So definitely check them out if you want to get better at the game. And yeah, let's hop right into things. So first, we must start off with Xayah's abilities, okay? Xayah is honestly one of the hardest champions to play in the bot lane. So let's get into things. Let us start with how does Xayah do damage. So the first part of making big plays is you need to know you can kill them, and you need to know that you can't get killed, okay? That's the prediction part. We'll get to that second part in the end of the video, okay? In the second half of the video, we'll talk about that. In the first part, we need to talk about how we can kill people, because Xayah has so many ways she can do this, okay? So off the top of my head, we can root into W damage, root into teammate can follow up, or we can put a bunch of feathers on the ground, E flash for a massive root, or any combination of the above, okay? So let's first talk about W. Now, what makes Xayah so good? It's her W and her root. Let me show you why W is so insane. When Xayah has items, her W is super lethal in the sense that you can kill backline with a W. In fact, if you have the full duration on, you can probably kill a bruiser with a W. I'm gonna pause the video where it looks pretty doomed, right? How can you win as Xayah here, right? It looks impossible. This Vayne's already killed you. But this is the power of W. Your W will like instantly kill backline champions when you have enough items, okay? Your W is your all-in ability. If you can get your full duration of your W off, you're just gonna overkill a lot of people. So let me show you what it looks like. It's just, oh my god, 1200 damage in 2 hits. Right? Let me show you some even more examples. Here, we can kill Vayne with 2 items again. And sure, we're up in levels and stuff. But you'll notice that I can legit miss everything and auto-attack her to death because W is the majority of your damage. Alright? Think about it this way. W is your damage. Okay? The other part of your damage is a lot of feathers. Okay? A lot of E. And then we can even show another example. Okay? The first part of this is us using W to kill Lucian. Right, and then it has some other applications later. We might revisit this clip, but W to kill Lucian essentially. Just 2000 damage. I have 4 items. All I did was just press W because that's where your damage comes from. All right, so first thing you need to know, if you can press W and hit them a bunch of times, you're gonna kill them. Easy tip for you guys to remember is that for W, you need to make sure that you are not using your W unless you're actually in range. Because if you use your W and you're not in range, you completely wasted it. You wanna make sure you're in range before you press W, because then once you hit them, you can get that move speed, right? You can run them down, or if they're running into you, you can use your W to kite, right? Because it gives you move speed. And an easy trick you can do is if you go into the practice tool, you can practice this out. But as you're auto attacking, you don't press W until your auto attack animation shows, so that you make sure you're not wasting it. All right. So next, let's talk about root. Okay. So everyone knows 3 feathers is a root. How can we get 3 feathers on them? One more. The first one we're going to talk about is the easiest, which is they just don't do anything. You put a ton of feathers on them and then you just kill them because you have a bunch of feathers. Let me show you this team fight. All right. So up here, we're just going to throw a bunch of abilities out there, right? Throw some feathers down. I don't know what's going on. We press W because we think we're killing the Darius, right? And then once all these feathers are stacked up, you press E and they all go bye-bye, all right? So stack a bunch of feathers, press E. That's the easiest way. Is you're kiting and then they run into your feathers and then you press E. It does a ton of damage, right? Now, this kind of scenario doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it feels really good, all right? It's basically you E last, all right? Usually you E for root early on into your W, or you E last to basically just kill them, right? An important tip to remember about your E is to make sure that you know the relationship between using your E when the enemy is close to you versus further away from you. All right, so let me show you what that means. Close to you looks like this, right? In this example, we're gonna have our target Echo be right on top of us, right? And you notice, where are our feathers? Our 3 feathers are legit like in the stratosphere. Like there's one this way, there's one this way, and there's one this way. How on earth are we supposed to root this guy? But because of the relationship between how close they are and whether or not you can root them, you're actually going to root them because all the feathers are coming to you. So if we watch the clip here, they're actually all end up right on top of him because he's so close to us. So the closer they are, the easier it is to root, which brings us to more examples. Like say, for example, this Hecarim. He's guaranteed to face tank all the feathers because he's super close to us, right? Which is why Xayah is really good against bruisers and assassins. Sometimes you press E and they die, essentially. And this is our E into W combo, by the way, where we root them first and then we press W. You can press W first too, honestly. We just know that W is to kill a guy. When you think you need to kill a guy, you press W, essentially. And then the other one we need to talk about is if they're too far away and you try and root, you're gonna have a problem, right? So like, for example, this is just a legit straight miss, right? Even though maybe it looks like, oh, maybe it's somewhat kind of close, it's not really close, okay? So remember the relationship. The further away they are from you, the more precise you have to be with your feathers. And the closer they are to you, you don't have to be precise at all. That brings us to our relationship, our famous Xayah mechanic, which is E-Flash, right? So if you check out this E-Flash, how can we force them to be close to us? Let's say they're a ranged champion, right? Melee champion is super easy, but ranged champion not so easy. How can we force them to be close to us? Well, it's simple. You just flash right on top of them, right? You flash as close as you can on the other side of them where the feathers are. So the feathers are over here, right on top of them, behind them, right? And that is the relationship in a nutshell, right? Is, you know, the closer you are, the easier it is to get all the feathers. We hit every feather because we flash on top of them. Easy clap, right? And then let us continue on with other examples of E killing people, right? And then it's probably our last example of E killing people because I think you guys know what that looks like. Oh, this one's fun, right? Where we use our E as we're kiting. Really, use your E to kill people when you're kiting, right? The next thing we're going to talk about is how we can use our E when we're not kiting. We need to chase people down or follow up, right? It's actually different, right? So here, this is where we stack all our roots with our ulti and you know, all our feathers, and then we press E at the end because we've been kiting, and then we hit them all because they're semi close to us and is very precise, you know, in the sense of all the feathers are coming in, right? The closer they are, the more likely it is feathers will hit them. I want you to memorize that because it's very important when you play this champion. Now, let us talk about rooting people when we're not going for big roots. How can we get a 3 feather root? This is what I call a 3 feather root, all right? The minimum root. So there's 2 ways to do this. The first is what we just saw. Go back to this example because we just used it. The first is what we just saw. We use our Q only when we have the intention of being able to root. So how do we set up for our root? We want to put it in spots where we think the enemy will be and near the middle of these spots so that you can walk side to side to pressure them into a root, right? So in this example, we put it right down the middle of the minions because we think Xayah needs the CS from any of these spots, right? And we'll move with her in order to find the root. And since we're holding feathers after we used Q, we're going to Q right on top of our 2 feathers to make sure that we have a root ready, right? So if you take a look at this clip, this is called the slow root or a sneaky root, essentially. We throw out 1 feather to match our 2 feathers that's sticking out here. And then we press E all at the same time to make sure that, you know, they don't know what's coming, right? You basically throw it where you think they're going to be. And of course, you have to attack their minions, okay? Let me show you a bunch of other ones because it's actually really important to know this. Fast combo on a moving target. How do we do it? Remember, you need W. You need W first. You need to see that the feather, when you pull it in with E, is going to hit him. If you're not sure, keep going, right? This one's definitely going to hit him. So now we QE combo, right? No problem. So you need to make sure one of your passive feathers from W is going to hit him and your QE combo is going to hit him. And remember that we really do not want to use Q without the intention of using E. Otherwise, you're just wasting potential root, right? Which is very important because once we show our examples, we're going to show you the good things we did and the mistakes we did while learning this champion, all right? Here's another W fast root combo, okay? This is probably the one of the more mechanically difficult ones to learn, all right? So if there's something you want to practice in the practice tool, this is the combo. Fast root, and then, you know, W into fast root, essentially, right? So watch that again. You know, you can do it in slow-mo, but you see that the W feather is going to hit him, right? If you pull it in, so you QE immediately, no problem. And you have to keep auto attacking, by the way, because your W kills them, right? So now you're rooting them to make sure they stay in place and for a little bit extra damage, right? W is your damage. A lot of E is your damage. A regular root is to make them CC'd with some moderate amount of damage, okay? Let's use some easy tips to land root as well with your Q, okay? Q placement. This is the slow follow-up. That's really important. This is your basic. This is the non-mechanically intensive basic. Your teammate CCs them, Q auto attack E, okay? And then that's your free root, right? That's just the basic you need to learn, right? So we only need one example of this. This is too basic, I think, but you guys definitely need to see it. I want to show you some Q placement. How do we use Q with the intention of using E, but not necessarily pull E until we can root? This is what I mean, all right? We're going to put it in a spot that's going to pressure them. So usually in the middle of the minion wave, makes it really hard for them to move anywhere, right? Because if they're standing here, you just stand over here to draw a line between you guys so you can root. That's going to prevent them from being able to farm. And another really important tip is once you throw a Q, auto attack at the same spot where your Q landed so that your triple root is ready, or your root is ready, okay? That's actually a really easy tip you guys can learn. So you see how I put it all in the middle? So he does something stupid, I'm just going to root him, no problem, right? And does, I don't know, 1 million damage, right? And then you can watch the rest of this. We're just killing them because they're running it down. But, you know, you get the idea, right? Another example of us putting feathers in the middle of the lane is here. This is where we put all the feathers in the middle so we can run down and catch him, right? Notice how he's standing here. All I have to do is just align with him, right? Move up and down like this to make sure that I'm drawing a line between me and my feathers. That way he can't stand anywhere, okay? So putting in the middle is always a really good bet. So you just instantly kill him like that, right? And that's an example of feathers doing a lot of damage. So now let us get into Ulti. So Ulti is probably one of the hardest parts to use about her kit because it involves you being able to read your opponent, right? What does that mean? You need to know when they're going to throw an ability at you so that you can dodge it with your ultimate. Now everyone knows about this, you know, famous interaction. Wow, Fizz ulti me, I'm just gonna ulti. Or Zed ulti me, I'm just gonna ulti, right? As long as you know it's coming, it's easy. The hard part is knowing it's coming. In order to kind of focus on this, you need to have everything else down to a pat. You don't want to be thinking about fast root combo, slow root combo, follow up, W kills someone, massive E damage with kiting. You can't be thinking about that. You can't be thinking about, I need to use my Q with intention to E. That should all be automatic by the time you learn how to use your ulti in order to counter the enemy team's damage, okay? So ulti obviously puts out a bunch of feathers. That's one part about it. And the second part is it will make you untargetable so you can dodge certain abilities, right? In fact, you can just dodge whatever you want most of the time. You can dodge tower shots, you can dodge ADC auto attacks, you can dodge Fizz ulti, Zed ulti, Sejuani ulti, whatever. But remember that it's not a flash. So if you dodge something like let's say Sejuani ulti, you're still gonna be slowed after you land, right? Because the Sejuani ulti is gonna make a huge zone around you. So remember, it's not a flash. Treat it as like a better Zhonya's, a better version of Zhonya's. So let me show you some examples of how we use ulti to dodge tower shots, which is the big boy plays we're gonna get to. All right, so let's first talk about E usage. All right, so obviously you can ulti and then E, right? So let's watch this clip. This is the ulti E combo, right? So here, we're just going to press R and then E, because we know that we can kill Caitlyn like this, right? And then we can also kill Morgana because she's really close to us. The closer they are, the more likely it is you can hit the feathers. And then we can speed up to kill Lee Sin, whatever. So ulti E combo, right? You can even use it to follow up if you know a teammate is going to stun someone. Which is why prediction is really important, because if you do it too late, of course you're going to miss the E because they're going to flash or something, right? So here, we're just going to ulti and E immediately, right? To make sure there's no way he can get out. You can use your ulti like that. That's totally fine. But the important stuff we're going to look at is how can we use it to dodge damage and or survive, right? So here, if we think about it, we have to make sure we know what their turn play is. Now, I know we haven't really talked about turn play yet. That's going to be in the next video. But turn play is basically the thing that's going to kill you. So a turn play for our team would be like, oh, it's going to be like a Renekton W, a Snowball, Talon, burst damage, you know, Xayah stun. Really, CC is the important part. Xayah's turn play is her W, and her root. Now, Aatrox's turn play is his third Q. Now, the turn ability is super important. Which one would you like to dodge? You know, oh, we're gonna dodge the third Q because it's the most important, right? So save ulti until the third Q. So here, you're gonna watch an example of us using our root combo, and then we're gonna use our ulti to dodge a specific ability, and we use our Q to make sure that we have the intention of rooting. Okay, all good, right? Picturesque is not, it's pretty good. It's pretty standard Xayah play. This is what you want, right? That's how you know you can kill him and he can't kill you. He needs to land third Q. You can land everything. Go for it, no problem. All right. We can even watch some more right here. What's Echo's turn play? Right off the top of your head is gonna be the stun, no problem. Unless you somehow get hit by Echo ulti, don't do that. But it's gonna be a stun, right? So what do we save our ulti for? His stun, right? And you'll notice that we aren't using any abilities that we don't need to, right? W to kill. Okay, I'm gonna force this ulti with W, and then notice I'm not using Q, right? Why am I not using Q here? We have no intention to root. He's gonna end up over here. He's gonna end up wherever he ulti. So when should we use it? We can use it right before ulti, or it really is right before you E, essentially, right? You want to combo with your E, otherwise your Q does nothing. So we're gonna ulti. You can QE. You can do whatever you want. Here we Q last. You know, kind of a small, not necessarily a mistake, but there's a better habit to Q first and then ulti, or ulti and then QE. So this is an example of QR, where we should have used QR combo, but we didn't, so it actually ended up in us dying, right? So let's take a look at this clip. Okay, here comes some bad boys here. So we can dodge Hecarim ulti, we can dodge Hecarim his E, right? In this case, we decided to save it for his ulti. You'll also notice at the same time we have slow root combo. He's close to us, so we can root him, and we're using W to kite and kill him, right? So you see there's like a lot of different things going on with this champion, all right? So it's really mechanically intensive. You really can't screw up anything or you're gonna have a problem. So ulti ended up being used for Anivia here. We actually didn't dodge anything, right? That's actually part of why we have a problem, is that we didn't end up dodging anything. You can dodge Xayah Q, that's fine. If you have no HP, maybe you need to dodge Xayah Q, right? And here we actually had our close root relationship with the Anivia. The closer you are, the more feathers are gonna hit, right? So ulti E combo in their face is really important. And you'll notice that she actually lived with, you know, 300 health. Where could I have gotten 300 health? What do you think? QR, Q before E, right? So QR combo can be really good, right? Auto attack cancel QR combo, or you can ulti and then QE, right? But remember that you want to use your Q with your E, or you know, it just doesn't make sense, right? And then let's go into other examples where we're diving with ulti, okay? Ulti to dodge something. We're gonna look at ulti to dodge something here. What is the thing to ulti here, right? What's important damage? Tower shot and Jin force shot, no problem. You can even say Jin W if you really want to, right? So let's take a look. We just ultied him in his face to dodge the force shot, and since we're so close to him, we just E on top of ourselves, and it did 1,000,000 damage, right? I didn't even get any, I didn't even QR, although you should definitely QR here. For sure would QR. Take a look at some more. Ulti usage. Right, this is the big boy plays. You need to know that you can kill them and that they can't kill you because you can ulti the important ability. That's how you make the big plays, right? So here we know he has no stun because he just used it. So you know, W straight up kills him, and then we just ulti the tower shot, right? So let's take a look. W literally just kills him because we know how W works. Wow, we even went for fast root combo as well, right? So that's why the mechanics have to be so ingrained that you don't have to think about it, right? I just want fast root combo into W kill and then ulti to dodge something, right? That's why it's so important to have these mechanics down on Xayah. You need to be able to know pretty much everything I listed. So anything beyond that, we're getting more advanced. You should know that too. If you can do those, you should do those too. But really what you're doing is building up consistency, okay? Here's a basic fight. Q is root into W, right? Think of it as you need to find the root somehow with your QE combo or fast root combo, and then W kill someone. Think about it that way. That's your bread and butter on Xayah. Let's go back to our first example, right? So W to kill someone, right? And into fast root combo, right? Fast root combo here, because we use a W for it. No problem. We're waiting to ulti because we know Lee Sin's gonna take the Q, so we're gonna ulti his Q, right? He didn't take it, so we come back in and we have our combos back up again, right? So in this case, we're just gonna walk up and then we're gonna look for a root, which this is poor because there's no way that this feather would ever work, so don't Q here, right? That was actually poor usage. We walk up, we're looking to kill with W, and then ulti to dodge something into a root because close. Morgana is very close. Kaelin's stuck against the wall, so the feathers lined up, and then we finish things off with a W, which we basically didn't need, but that was what we were looking for. W to kill someone, ulti to dodge something, root when they're close to you, or when you have a precise root. And then, you know, you just at that point, you just kill everyone. All right. That's kind of the guide in a nutshell. I hope you guys learned something. If you Xayah experts out there want to share clips or helpful ideas, like for example, there's Q flash, R flash, anything like tossing feathers into the wall so you can pull them in, right? Tips or tricks you want to show us, definitely leave a comment in the comment section. I hope you guys enjoyed. I want to thank GameLeap for providing all the editing again for this video. They are definitely a good resource if you're trying to learn the game, not just the ADC role, but rather all roles in League, you know, top, jungle, mid, support. So definitely check them out if you want to get better at the game. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.